Hello and welcome to the Future Gaming Podcast in association with Future Gaming Network. I'll be your host, Joshua Clement, aka Needy, and today we're going to be talking about Battlefield 4. This is a game we're all really excited for, except for maybe Jessica, I don't know. Send her hate mail. But before we start this off, we're going to have to introduce our lovely cast. First off, we have Zachary. How's it going, buddy?
Wow, I didn't even get any adjectives to my name. This is Zach. How's it going?
Yes, this is Zach, because for the past 4 takes, all you've said is, I'm playing Pokemon. So now I actually got you to say something.
It's true, because I'm playing Pokemon. Your intro takes forever, so I'm playing Pokemon.
How many hours have you logged?
63.
And have you been outside of your cave since then?
Several times. I played hockey on Sunday, and that's been pretty much it.
Oh, God. All right. Introducing next, we have the lovely Jessica Miller. How's it going?
It's going.
See, I let you say it that time.
Thank you. I like saying it's going. Well, first of all, don't send me hate mail. Josh doesn't know what he's talking about.
I think you should still send her hate mail.
I disagree. And now you can ask me what game I've been playing.
Hey, Jess, what games have you been playing?
Oh, golly, Josh. Well, I traded in my Zombie Slayer card for the week to take on the... Yeah, I know. Big shock, but don't worry, I'm getting it back tomorrow. To become a dinosaur hunter in the original Turok game. Pretty fantastic. Killing a lot of raptors.
Oh, God. I can only imagine how much hatred you have for dinosaurs compared to zombies.
I love dinosaurs. I love them.
How can you kill them, then?
It's just the way the wheel turns. I don't know.
Oh, God. All right. And introducing... Today we have a special guest on our podcast today. He's a good buddy of mine. He's a good buddy of all of ours. But we have the furry Andrew Malott. How's it going, buddy?
Going good. I love to use furry. There's a lot of adjectives I could use for myself. Tall would be a good one, but not quite furry.
You're furry?
Yeah, but they didn't need to know that.
Yeah, but they want to know that.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Hello, fangirls. Hello. Hashtag
right.
too good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty damn sexy, ladies. So remember to follow him at God knows where. All right, we'll do the Twitter later.
I don't do Instagram. Instagram is for whores, like Austin.
Wow.
Hashtag burn. All right. Andrew, what games have you been playing this week, buddy?
This week, let's see here, I picked up Counter-Strike Global Offensive because I wanted to punish myself because I don't know how to do first-person shooters on the PC. Personal favorite, as always, League of Legends, because why not auto-lock Teemo and go AP mid? I mean, totally worth it when your Nexus blows up and you get that one kill in the jungle.
Yeah, you love doing that, don't you?
What can I say? I'm a glutton for punishment.
All right. And lastly, we have the most definitely censored. He likes to talk a lot. You know you love him. Austin Galushka. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. How about yourself there, Needy?
Not too bad lately. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon as well.
Yes.
Zach got me addicted, and now I've been breeding an army of Eevees to take over the world.
You are welcome.
And guys, I do have to admit, Pokemon X and Y, really good games. I totally still agree with our preview. It is a 9.5 to a 10.
I'm pushing 9 up to a 10.
Yeah, I'm pushing. I have to agree with Zach on that one. It's a 10. Go out and buy this game, even if you have to buy a 2DS to do it. Go buy it.
Like
it's
me.
worth your time. Like Zach, yes, he went out and traded in his DS for a 2DS, and it is literally a Pokemon machine.
Hey, Zach.
That's all it does. That's all it needs to do.
Honestly, this thing could have been a pile of dog crap with 2 screens and buttons that plays Pokemon X and Y, and I still would have bought it.
Hey, Zach. How many Vulpix are you up to?
Up to 40 Vulpix.
And how long have you been breeding your Vulpix?
8 hours.
And you don't have a problem, right?
No, I don't have a problem at all.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
You guys are going to have to pull me and Zach away from this game after a while, because this is getting ridiculous.
I'll call Dr. Drew. You can get your own rehab show. Spin-off.
All right, Austin, sorry for the neglection here, but what games have you been playing, bud?
I'm regretful to say that I actually put down GTA 5. Because of last week's episode about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and with the revelation of this week of me actually gaining back my Xbox account, I've been playing Assassin's Creed 3, actually going through achievement hunting, trying to get my illustrious gamer score over the 30K mark so I can buff out my chest and rub it in all the little gamer boys' faces. But nah.
Yeah, because everybody cares about gamer score, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just like League of Legends. Well, I'm level 30. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
That's completely different. Level 30 is masteries and runes.
Yeah, it makes you a little more useful there. But before we all start talking at the same time, we're going to jump right into our first segment. We're going to jump right into the preview slot here and go for Battlefield 4. All right, guys. Now we're going to jump right into our first segment. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 4 today, and I know this is a game that we're all pretty much excited about. Aside from Jess, why are you hating on Battlefield?
Okay, it's really nothing against Battlefield. I guess it's just one of the few games that I actually don't play well. So it's all me, guys.
All right, guys. We have a lot to talk about today. Austin, why don't you dive right in here with us and tell us about the release date and what do we have to look for in any pre-orders we may be getting?
All right, release date right off the bat, October 29th, 2013. And yes, that is before new-gen consoles release, so they're kind of jumping into this little weird period of old-gen, new-gen little, I don't know what you want to call it, if you want to call it just like this weird vibe, but they're doing the same thing.
Let's call it a null zone.
Okay, no, null zone's a good way, because I like what they're doing. They're doing the same thing kind of that Assassin's Creed did, how you pay $60 and you're going to buy the old gen version. However, you then for the additional $10 you get that technical upgrade up to the new gen system. But what's really cool though is the way they're doing this. There's a really explicit difference between the PS4 and the Xbox One. For PS4, you're gonna pay $60. You're gonna buy the PS3 copy. However, the PS3 disc, really cool thing, it's gonna be read right on the PS4 console. So all you're gonna have to do, pay a $10 fee, voila, you get it in-game, right through the PS4 system, right through their little marketplace. You're going to get an upgrade right to the next-gen game. So a much simpler way than what Xbox One is doing, because Xbox One, the way they're doing is through companies such as GameStop, Best Buy, and the Xbox Live Marketplace. You go and you pay $60. You get the Xbox 360 version. You play that for the 2-week period between when it releases and when the next-gen console and game comes out, which DICE is calling, basically it's a practice period. They want people to get accustomed to the game, the I don't want to say new controls because it's probably going to be the same controls, but it's just kind of like a practice period so people can hop right into the new gen and be not bad. That's kind of what they want to hope. But
Drew, we're looking at you.
And yes,
hey. I'm not bad. I'm pleasantly awful. And speaking of the multiplayer, I'm really, really excited. The multiplayer is going to come out with 10 maps and 7 game modes. I'm really excited. A lot of our old favorites coming back. We have Conquest, Rush, Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, Squad Deathmatch, which I'm sure I'll be playing with you guys because, well, I love you guys.
Shotguns only?
Shotguns only.
Absolutely not. No, the maps are way too big in this game. Shotguns are going to be for when they drop the Urban Assault DLC. That's going to be Dragon's Teeth later in the year. But trust me and Needy, don't worry. We'll have her 100+, 150+ kill games just like we did in Battlefield 3.
Oh, yeah, just running around with a derpy shotgun, just smacking everybody in the face in that close quarters map.
There's a flashlight.
Derping around with that.
All right, Andrew, continue on with the
we have
game mode.
Squad Rush, which I love Rush. I'm not playing with you guys. I'm playing Rush. I'm sorry. Obliteration, Diffuse, and Domination. Now, the really cool thing that's coming out with the whole big Xbox One, PlayStation 4 controversy is Xbox One is getting the first day exclusive. They're getting the second DLC, Assault, bringing back some of the fan favorites from Battlefield 3. And there'll be 4 maps. It's also going to come out with a couple extra vehicles, some new gear, so you can, rock it loud, lock it proud, or you can put a silencer on it like Austin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't be silly, wrap your willy.
It's going to be great. The greatest thing about the multiplayer is it's 5-man squads this time around. I'm really excited about that, so we don't have to worry about, we have 5 people. We do 2 squads, 1 of 2, 1 of 3, 5-man squad. It's going to be awesome. it kind of coincides with the next-gen systems, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, with having more people on with the Xbox servers. You know, you can do 64 people in a server this time, which I'm really looking forward to. That's massive games. You haven't seen that since, you know, if you play on the computer, giving those Xbox One, those PlayStation 4 people a taste of what the PC people have had for years. I'm really excited about that. The other thing I am personally excited about, Commander Mode. Now, Commander Mode is kind of like being Austin in real life, but in a video game. You get to control everything. Now, the great thing about Commander Mode is you take control of the squad leaders and the war assets. Now, you ask yourself, what are war assets? All your missiles, your vehicles, etc. You're going to be able to take control of those.
Now, was that the thing with the iPad, where they were like I saw in the trailer that it was the E3 trailer that if I recall, that they had an off-screen camera shot of somebody launching a missile onto a couple of nearby positioned tanks. Is that something we're going to see the commander only having access to?
No. Yeah, that's something the commander's going to have access to, but also with the iPad versions of the games and the apps, there's a lot of mini-games you can play, so that'll be fun. But the greatest thing about being in the commander mode is you can ID high-value targets. Once a player gets a score streak of 6 or higher, you're going to be able to use things like those missiles to take people out. You can even ping on the maps, which is really, really great. And if you have someone like Austin taking control of your commander, you can actually start a mutiny.
So wait, are you telling me that I can rise against the evil, maniacal rule of Zach Holbrook?
Yes, you can. I mean, I wouldn't do that personally because Zach Holbrook is scary, especially on video games.
Austin, we must plot to take him out slowly and painfully.
There's no way that you will ever lead. I'm sorry, but you kind of have this whole sniper mentality where you kind of like to be your lone wolf. That won't work in my system. So
yeah. I didn't say I was taking over. I said I'm going to put somebody other than Zach in charge.
Actually, no, there's nothing wrong with Zach in charge. As long as me or Zach are in charge, I have a feeling that our group can work very well together. But cough, me.
You forget how tactically sound I am.
I also forget, sometimes how much I just want to shoot you in the back and take over as commander.
You know what's going to be fun, though? When we're all going to be playing, we're going to have Jess with us, and we're just going to be, hey, Jess, we'll just run out and just pull fire for us. She's got to be our little decoy.
Are you kidding? We're going to rig her up with a riot shield, then we're going to strap some C4 to her, and then we're going to tell her to run at the tank, and it's going to be great, guys.
We'll just put her on. Hopefully they have motorcycles, just like the last patches that Battlefield 3 had. Oh my god, you know how fun that would be? Just throw a whole bunch of C4 in Jess, like, Jess, what? Just drive into people, please, and let me just kill you.
I will make that sacrifice for you guys.
Fatality.
Thank you.
But before we go on too much of a tangent here, guys, we got to talk about the new premium accounts. Well, they're not really new, but they're still an addition to the game. Austin, what can we see in the premium accounts this time around with Battlefield 4?
Well, put it this way. Premium account is DICE's little incentive to pre-order the game. If you're anybody like us in the group, and hopefully she joins our squad and she'll want to play with us, you are planning on getting this DLC. There's already 5 of them already announced. You have Second Assault coming out release day for Xbox One, and then before December's over, you're going to have China Rising come out, and then you're going to have the other 3 come out periodically later in the 2014 year. But the main point of premium account is you're kind of seeing all these companies do that now. If you buy the game new, you get this special account, but if you buy it used, you have to buy into the account. Because for DICE, this is what they do. With premium account, you get a 2-week early access to DLC. You get what I really think is cool, even though they're taking it from Call of Duty. You're going to be getting double XP events and like double XP weekends, because then it's going to bring everybody onto the servers at one weekend to play together, because you're all going to try and cram to get extra little things. You're going to get battle packs, which in Battlefield 3 you had to buy battle packs. It was just basically little packs that would unlock guns, gadgets, and like dog tags. However, in Battlefield 4, while you can still do that, really cool thing, you can unlock them through leveling, which I absolutely love, because it's sometimes easier just to get everything right away, because then the leveling process is just easier. But then also the big reason you want premium account is, like I said, the DLC is free. If you don't have the premium account, each DLC is going to cost you a nice $15. That is a lot of money. So for a simple $5-10 down payment at GameStop, Best Buy, Amazon, or the live marketplace of either Xbox or Sony, you're going to be saving yourself so much money. So it's just...
Yeah, and the DLCs are definitely worth it for this game.
Absolutely.
But real quick, I wanted to explain to some of the people here, something big with Battlefield 4 always has been that you have squads within a team. We have said that Jess is going to join our squad. We mean it. The squads have been bumped. The cap has been bumped from 4 to 5. So when we say Jess is going to join our squad, we actually mean Jess can join our squad now. With that little bump, I have a feeling it's going to change a lot, guys. What do you think?
Absolutely, because the main reason is now, if you watch the videos, the Levolution, which we'll talk about later, and the vehicles in this game are becoming a lot more apparent. So the main point of having a squad is you have a medic, a support, a sniper, and an engineer. And that fifth slot, I'm not going to lie, I have a feeling you're going to see that fifth slot used as an engineer a lot more because you're going to need to be really working well together as a team to combat not only enemy players, but also the Levolution system and all of the vehicles that are going to be a part of the game because of how massive these maps are. So I think it just kind of adds a way to balance teams who aren't so heavy into vehicles to teams who are heavier on foot. I think that's where it's going to really shine, is more of a balancing tool that's just simple and intuitive.
Yeah, Battlefield has always had that problem with it being too vehicle overpowered. A lot of people are turned off by that because they see a tank and they don't think they can take it all out at once. But with this game, especially with the more players that are going to be in this game, the vehicle spawns that are going to happen are going to be a lot less frequent, or at least it's going to seem that way because there are so many people in the game at a time. With Battlefield 4 on next-gen and PC, not including the Wii U, if I recall, correct?
Correct.
So not including the Wii U, the player count has been bumped from 32 to 64 players in a match. That is 32 players on 32, as opposed to the old 16 on 16, or was it 12 on 12?
Well, here's the thing. For PC, for Battlefield 3, it was 64, while consoles was 32. Now, with the next gen consoles, it's all being bumped up to a standard level 64 across the board.
Except for the
so
Wii
we can
U.
See except
which is
for
the
Wii
redheaded
U.
stepchild of the next gen consoles. Just
Hey,
saying.
Drew, this is the first episode you've been here, even though you've listened to us. Trust me, we all here agree the Wii U is not a system. It's not a next gen system. It's just kind of a party thing.
Not until they make it a Pokemon, display machine. With that in mind, yeah, the player caps I think are really going to help out with this issue that Battlefield has always had, especially with how detailed these maps look. And we have this thing now in Battlefield where it's called Levolution. And Andrew, I know you wanted to really get into this because I know it looks pretty intense here.
Oh, the Levolution? It's going to be insane. Did you ever think to yourself, hey, why can't I just blow that up? Well, with the new Frostbite 3 engine, you can. If you want to blow up a dam or cut the power, you can do that. If someone's sitting up on the top and they're like, hey, they're sitting at the top of that building with a sniper rifle, I can't quite get to them, I'm just going to blow the floor and get rid of the entire building altogether. And the entire map will actually adapt to that. Now, I'm loving this, but Jess is in love with it. Like, I'm pretty sure Levolution is her new boyfriend.
Okay, now last week we had a big spill on our show. Jess, we heard you were single. Are you and Levolution getting together? Spill it, girl.
Okay, well, I don't want to lose any fans, but the truth is Levolution did just propose to me last night. That did happen.
Hot.
Hot.
Zach always chiming in late. He's a little slow, guys. He's got to shift mute. But anyway, yeah, go back to playing your Pokemon. All right, Jess, what can you tell us about Levolution? What else does it have in store for us?
Okay, Levolution is just going to be epic. It's one of those things that's just going to make this video game just so much more realistic. So basically, it's a new way to affect your surroundings through interactive elements. So basically, it's how you affect the map and how the map affects you. Like Andrew said, in Battlefield 4, you can trigger so many awesome, epic reactions from the map. On the smaller scale, you can pass through a metal detector or set off a car alarm, giving away your position. You can also use bollards to permit or deny vehicle entry.
What the hell's a bollard?
It's a steel pillar that rises from the ground, basically totaling cars.
Oh, you mean like what they had in the Watchdog trailer, where the police cars are chasing him and he raises the little barricade behind him.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right,
bollards,
got
maybe.
it.
Everyone knows about those. I use that in everyday conversation. Oh, did you see the bollards on the street? Yeah, I saw the bollards. They suck.
Yeah, he also says that a lot when he plays basketball, but I'm not sure he knows the meaning.
Oh, bollards, not ballers. My bad. I'm white, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. Hate mail, Drew Malott. We'll give you his email later.
Hashtag too dumb.
All right. So with the Levolution, it looks pretty insane. I do got to mention that epic moment in the trailer where we see the ship crashing into the beach, and all you have is that whole what the do I do moment.
Leonardo DiCaprio can't drive the Titanic for shit, dude.
And no, he can't because he landed on my face.
So
but anyway,
your face today.
Andrew with the insults. Man, it's your first day. Okay.
It's kind of like prison. You got to stab the biggest guy you can find first. That way no one messes with you.
Why didn't you go after Zach?
Because he's been quiet this whole time. And Jess, I said biggest person, not biggest boobs.
Yeah, guys. Jess is hot. Sorry.
Okay, let's just move on, guys.
Baller, Instagram.
Right. Moving on from bollards and boobs
Okay,
to...
so Josh, you were talking about the boat. Yeah, that is one of the things on the larger scale that is totally going to change the entire layout of the match in an instant. If you saw any of the trailers, you probably saw in the map of Shanghai the skyscraper falling down, which is crazy. It's
epic. This is the moment of the show where you pause the video. If you have, or you pause the audio. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch this trailer of the skyscraper falling, and you will get chills down your spine to last you until this game releases, because it is epic.
What's cool about it, though, is that it doesn't just happen in the game. You cause it. You are capable of that. And in another map, you're capable of changing an entire urban level from land to water base. So this map...
But guys, in Call of Duty Ghosts, I can totally knock over a gas station.
Okay, Call of Duty trumps this. I can't even top that.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry.
The Call of Duty hate.
Well, I'm sorry. Call of Duty is a good game for quick play, but not for a full-on tactical experience. I'm sorry. You can keep your little, I'm going to blow up my gas station. Yeah, guess what? I'm going to bring down a building on top of your face, and then I'm going to go through the rubble, and while I'm going through the haze of the smoke, I'm going to pull out my pistol and have some heyday on your buddies. Tink, 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 tink. You got nothing on me.
I got to agree here. Battlefield is going to poop on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is a game where snipers jump around and dive all over the place, and shotguns camp corners. It's sad, and it's going to be... I'm not pumped for Call of Duty anymore after seeing this Battlefield trailer. But we got to move on, because this is taking up a lot of time.
But I got one question, though.
What's your one question, sir?
Would anybody here be mad if Battlefield 4, for their Game of the Year edition, came out and just said, instead of naming it Battlefield 4, named it the COD Killer? 'Cause I think I would just buy it again just so I could frame it.
Too much COD hate, man. But before we get on too much of a tangent here, guys, we want to talk about the Frostbite 3 engine, and this is what's going to make Battlefield stand out from the rest of the pack of the first-person shooters this year. Austin, what can you tell us about this massive engine?
I think what the coolest thing about Frostbite 3 engine is, if you talk to anybody from DICE, they don't really say that it's an engine. They call it a philosophy. That was one of the coolest things that I saw when I was doing research is they call this engine a philosophy on how to advance gameplay across the board. This isn't an engine just meant for Battlefield 3. They're also going to be using it on multiple platforms. One really cool thing I thought when I first started doing a little bit of research on Frostbite 3 for this game, they showed the developers running Battlefield 4 on an iPhone. That's ridiculous. There's no reason an iPhone should be able to play Battlefield 4, but because of how well this engine works, it can run it and use every piece of computing power that little phone has, which is actually a lot, and still run a very crisp and smooth running game. And the way they were using it was for what Drew had talked about earlier, was it's a perfect little hub for commander mode. So you just kind of, it's smaller than the iPad, and it's just right there, and you can do whatever you want to. It was a cool thing. But I think the main feature of Frostbite 3 that everyone's going to talk about, and what we are all kind of drooling over, is Levolution, because everything in these maps is interconnected. You're going to have sea connected to land, connected to air. It's really cool. For the big one, Siege of Shanghai, everyone's seen it. If you log on Facebook, you see the video pop up from an advertisement. You log on YouTube, there it is right in the front.
Brought to you by Lil Wayne, Kevin Hart, and Gabriel Iglesias. Yep,
yeah,
we've
right.
seen them.
Yep. like what's cool about Siege of Shanghai, you start in the ocean. You then have to blow levees, which floods the streets of Shanghai, which you then move from an oceanic combat to an urban assault, which then, ask anybody who's played the beta, which just recently closed, within 2 minutes of that happening, that building is down, because nobody cares right now about gaining objectives. They just want to see what this Levolution can do, and they just want to watch this building crumble and just fall, because it changes the entire map. Like, it's going to put dust all over everything, and then you have a brand new section in the middle of the map, which is it's really cool, because you're going to see this, I'm guessing, on every map. They're going to change it. And what's I think is cool, just like what Assassin's Creed did, is they're kind of linking their engine with the new dynamic weather system. So on certain maps, it's going to change from like a calm, sunny day to a hurricane. And guess what? You're going to then be running through, and with the fantastic power that these systems are going to have with the new lighting and these new, just new visuals, you're going to have a lot of issues moving from building to building and not getting hit by enemies who are just waiting in a more precise and more tactical spot. So this new system, even though it has a lot of power, it's really going to emphasize working as a unit, talking, communicating, and making sure that you don't make stupid choices. So I think really what you're seeing from this Frostbite 3 engine, it's a culmination of what Battlefield is, and it's only going to make this game better, thus making it a really good front runner for what I think is going to be a Game of the Year candidate pretty easily.
Yeah, this game is really impressive. No joke, the beta has been crazy. The beta just ended, right, if I recall?
No, the beta just ended, which it's kind of sad, but if you go, you can see all these testimonials on YouTube, because nice little thing, a lot of their campaigning is really done through just social media networks because it's cheaper and it's so easy to share, and it's spread like wildfire. But yeah, the beta, even though a lot of people had issues with the beta because, it doesn't look as pretty, it's a beta. It had Battlefield 3 graphics with an early rendition of the Frostbite 3 engine, which they're just polishing and making sure that when this game hits for next gen and for old gen Xbox 360, this game is going to look so pretty. If you're running this, hopefully you have a good HDMI cable, so your Xbox One is going to be pumping this out at pristine quality. You're going to watch this building fall, and as soon as it hits and all the dust kicks up, you're not even going to want to move. You're just going to want to just stare at how pretty it looks, because this game is going to it's going to blow your mind away for what a game and an FPS is supposed to look like.
Yeah, and especially with this game, the sales of Turtle Beaches are going to go through the roof.
It should go. Drew, I hope you know, when me and you are going to jump out of helicopters onto the roofs of buildings, we are going to C4 them into the ground just so me and you can jump and stare from a parachute while it happens in front of our faces.
I mean, I've got something you can stare while it's in front of your face, but I wasn't talking about parachutes.
Hey. All right. Moving on, we got to talk about the single-player campaign of this. We don't have a lot on this just because single-player campaigns are always relatively hidden. We did see a little bit of gameplay when they were first showing off the game. It looked really impressive. It looked like there was a lot more strategy than just walk through and kill a bunch of NPCs. it seemed like there was a lot of, okay, we're pinned down by a turret. Okay, let's go this way with our squad by blowing up a hole through a concrete wall and then kill them. Austin, you did the research on this real quick because this game is mostly multiplayer. What can you tell us about this single-player campaign so far that we know?
Let me put it this way. Play single-player first before you play multiplayer. One, because the story generally is actually a very good story. Two, it's a good way to introduce yourself to all the controls, all the guns, and all the vehicles. Just do it. It's generally, the campaign is not too long, and the campaign I like Battlefield 3 campaign. I like Bad Company and Bad Company 2. They generally do have good campaigns, but they're just really good refreshers and ways to pound into your muscle memory how to quickly use that controller to get yourself into good tactical positions. So the main point between the campaign for this game is you're going to be playing as Sergeant Daniel Racker, who's going to be kind of what there's going to be the Special Forces Tombstone Squad. And if you watch some of the gameplay, you're going to see basically who you're going to be playing with. Not all of the information for your squad mates has been given out, but the three of the main characters that you'll be playing with your squad were Irish, Hannah, and Pack. Go on to the Battlefield website, and they kind of have little biographies and little synopses about what they are, their personalities, and just basically the main reason they're doing this is DICE and their development squad said the main thing they want to do through this campaign is develop a bond between you and your squad mates. Don't think of it as a game. Think of this as more of a life and death situation in which they rely on you and you rely on them to work as a cohesive unit to survive this conflict between a rogue Chinese general, of course the Russians, and the United States military as it turns into an intercontinental conflict. But even though most of the conflict does happen within the Chinese mainland in kind of like the Middle East, they really pushed that this is going to be a game of personal feeling and really using the graphics that Frostbite 3 can push out to really, I don't know, I don't want to say like think of a game like Last of Us when the storyline was
more like, let's say Gears 3,
yeah,
where you were emotionally invested in the characters.
Yeah, you're not going to be that emotionally invested. However, you're going to be emotionally invested enough that you kind of do care and you're kind of interested in the story. But we all know, well, I think not me, more or less you guys, everyone's going to just plow through that campaign, get the achievements, and then do what everyone else is going to do. Just sit down, turn off all the lights, and just go multiplayer, play, and then
Turtle Beach is on, Connect on, trigger rumble engaged. I am in my recliner in front of my 37-inch TV, and I am locked in this position for the next 4 hours while I play multiplayer.
Fun fact, the current Turtle Beaches will not actually work on your next-gen consoles, so if you haven't heard, that's the word's out.
Yeah, you're going to have to go buy a whole new set, but I'm sorry if you didn't know that already. Well, then you're in for a rude awakening because a lot of things you're going to have to be upgrading to make compatible with these next-gen systems.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next segment, we got to talk about, of course, everybody's been waiting for it, multiplayer. Zach, what do you got for us on this topic? Because I know we got a lot to cover now.
Look, guys, we already discussed the upgrade to 64-player multiplayer, but we're going to talk about the fact that they're bringing back the same classes we had in Battlefield 3. You got engineers to fix and destroy vehicles. You got your medic assault class, your recons, who's your snipers, and then you got your support toting around that C4 and ammo drops. In this game, they're really motivating squads to diversify their play a little bit. You know, delve more into the roles that you would otherwise not usually play. I mean, they don't want everybody running around with assault classes. They want to see people sort of diversify how they're going to play. They want to see a team with one of each, or maybe one or two of each of these classes, and that's going to lead to a lot of different styles of play. I mean, squads are going to be a huge thing. That's why they boosted the cap from 4 to 5. I think that's going to be a huge important role, especially with the field upgrades that they added. They're really trying to reward a lot of squad play in this game. Squad bonuses will be rewarded for stuff like reviving teammates, ammo drops, repairing teammates' vehicles. You're going to get bonuses like extra body armor, increased speed, sprint duration. It's going to be pretty interesting seeing how teams can really work together to really overpower other squads. Premium accounts are going to be really important in this game. It's going to unlock a lot of multiplayer extra content, like geo leaderboards, which is going to compare your ranked stats with everybody who lives around you. Real-time loadouts. It's going to give you the option to use your iPad, your iPhone, or any other like wireless device, mobile device, I should say, to upgrade your loadouts while you're not even playing or in between lives. Like, say you die, you can grab your phone and instead of staring at the death screen, you can change your loadout, upload it to the thing upload it to the game in real time, and it'll be waiting for you when you respawn. The battle screen is going to be a huge part of the multiplayer. Basically, it's going to turn your wireless device into a second screen, which is going to give you a full view of the map. You're going to be able to call up hostile zones. You're going to be able to target objectives so that your other squad mates know where you want to move. It's going to be a huge part of this game, I think. It's going to give people, a real it's going to give people real synergy with all their tech. I mean, yeah, the Xbox One is going to be very impressive, but what's even cooler is, now I can use my phone and my iPad all at the same time and, like, 3-screen this to victory. It's going to be really, really cool.
Stealing from PCs, huh? 3 screens of doom.
Yeah,
Now you gotta include your mobile device, and if you're poor, too bad. You can't be playing Xbox. What's the matter with you?
I don't know why you're buying a $500 console, man.
Yeah, to buy the console, it is minimum requirement to have a smartphone, if not an iPad. So, sorry, guys. But moving on here, we got to talk about the map gameplay. Jess, I know you've been researching this a lot. What have you got for us here?
Okay, so Battlefield 4 sports 10 different maps, coming in all shapes and sizes that vary from tight infantry maps to large open maps with a large selection of vehicles. And these maps are Siege of Shanghai, which is a map that features an urban environment set in the Chinese city of Shanghai, hence the name.
This is the one where we've seen throughout the beta. It's just impressive with all the in-game effects that it can do just with the map. The building collapsing, the battleship washing ashore, that's all this one map. That's not just all of the maps. We haven't even seen... False? Which one is the battleship?
The ship is going
Parasol
to...
Storm.
Thank you.
Okay. With the exception of the battleship, they are going to have these ridiculous scenes where just buildings are falling, ships are washing ashore. But with that, what else do we have on the rest of the maps there, Jess?
Okay, well, speaking of the boat, we'll move on to Parasol Storm, which is a map set in Parasol Storm is a map set in the South China Sea. It focuses primarily on sea and air combat. It features numerous boats, jets, and helicopters. So next, we have Operation Locker, which is an infantry-focused map set in a prison. It's a lot like the map in Battlefield 3, Operation Metro. Pretty cool. Then we have Flood Zone, which takes place in a Chinese town that resides near a large dam. You can destroy the dam, actually, as part of the Levolution, flood the whole village. I thought it was cool, but I'll move on. Next we have Galmud Railway, which is a very large, very open map, heavily focused on vehicles, including tanks, APCs, jets, helicopters, etc. Next we have Dawnbreaker, which is set in the midst of a major urban city. Well, it's set at dawn, thus the name, and which means it's one of the darker maps that we'll see in the game. So next we have Langkang Dam, not to be confused with Lion King. It's set around a large dam in Langkang. It features a mix of vehicle and infantry combat, including naval combat as well. And then moving on to Rogue Transmission, taking place in a large observatory in China. I thought this looked pretty cool. You can fly on top of the giant antenna dish or under the dish. It's pretty cool. It features both vehicle and infantry combat areas and also has a large open area for jets and helicopters. Gotta love that air combat. And last until the DLCs, we have Zavad 311, which is actually set in Russia, in a Russian tank factory. It will consist of various vehicles and infantry combat. As part of the Levolution, you can detonate a warhead to bring down a massive chimney.
Got a bit of a smoker's cough from that chimney over there?
Yeah, that smoke. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, actually, if you watch some of the like in-game previews, they actually show that pretty cool. And one of the cool things about that is that chimney that becomes a part of the map that you can run through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it, like a brick chimney that just falls?
Yeah, it's a brick chimney that falls, and it's cylindrical, and it's hollow, and you can run through it. So, guess what? Levolution. It's another point of origin in which you can assault an area from. Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. With that, all of that map and gameplay and everything awesome about Battlefield 4, we still have to talk about DLC. Zach and or Austin, what do you got for us on this one? Because I know you both got a lot to talk about.
I just want to say one thing. Operation Locker, even though they, like Jess said, it's kind of like it's going to be the new Battlefield 4 version of Operation Metro. You want to know why Operation Locker is going to be completely useless? Because Xbox One, on release day, has Second Assault coming out. And what is one of the 4 maps that are coming out with Second Assault? Oh, guess what? Operation Metro. Boom. Voila. Why
Bringing back everybody's favorite.
I'm sorry. I thought Operation Metro was the perfect map in Battlefield 3. That was the best map out of all of them. It had open combat, CQB combat, and then a mix of both at the end. It was just such a good map, and I don't really think you can recapture it in a new map rather than just developing the same map from the ground up with Frostbite 3 Levolution system in it.
Yeah, this is just another reason to get premium, guys. All the DLC for Battlefield 3 was awesome. It was definitely worth your time to get the premium rather than to try and buy each individual DLC separately, because that would be so much money to spend on that, and we don't want you guys to get screwed out of that. I certainly don't want you guys wasting your money when there's a certain way to get it for much cheaper.
Yeah, actually, to put a numerical value on it, $75. An extra $75 to go out and buy every one of the DLCs, 5 in total that have been announced for Battlefield 4. Why pay an extra $75 for a game that you're already paying $70 for when you could easily just go, pre-order it, and voila, get it all for free? It's just...
Yeah.
Common sense.
This coming from a bunch of broke college kids.
Absolutely.
Just so you guys are aware. And with Battlefield 4, we got to talk about DLC. We know DICE loves to pump out DLC. Andrew, what can we expect from the DLC that's about to drop here?
Well, first of all, it's DLC. There's going to be so much DLC for this game. It's going to be like getting 2 whole games, which is why you guys got to make sure you get that premium. It's going to be awesome. The first 2 DLCs I'm really, really excited about. First one is Assault. It's actually the second one, but I feel like I should talk about it first. It's the only one we know the map's on. We're going to have Gulf of Oman coming back, Operation Metro, which I'm super excited about. It's one of the best maps they've probably ever made. Caspian Border and Operation Firestorm. Again, I'm super, super excited about that. The first DLC that's coming out should be dropping about Christmas time is China Rising. Obviously, it's going to be the homeland of China. I'm excited about it. It's really kind of cool to see that some of these games are kind of diverging from, let's go to New York City or let's go to LA. I like to see them do like those around the world maps. It kind of really brings a wholeness to the game instead of really targeting, the U.S. guys, because the U.S. guys are going to buy this game regardless.
Yeah, that's very true. Austin, what are the rest of the DLCs we got coming up here, bud?
Thing I want to point out for the remaining 3 DLCs, no dates have been announced for them, except they are going to be coming out in 2014. So there could be a nice little time period between when China Rising comes out and the next one comes out, which is going to be Naval Strike, which I'm not going to lie, going to be my most anticipated one, because this is the first time DICE is going to make a complete DLC package that is oceanic fighting exclusive. Basically, Naval Strike, the way the maps they've laid out and kind of described them is, imagine a large map, like most Battlefield maps are, with very small islands scattered throughout them. So basically, you're going to be using a lot of ships, and then as you've seen through some of the gameplay footage, with the new dynamics that the Frostbite 3 engine brings, they're going to be able to change the weather on the fly in the map. So that little driving around being really fast in a fast boat open combat, that's going to change really fast to being like on kind of like wavy oceans that you're going to have to be more slow, tedious. Make sure you get those pot shots in, because if you try to just rush right through it, you're going to go right into an ambush. So that's probably my most anticipated one, because it's all going to be based on oceanic combat. The next one, which personally I will also love, is Dragon's Teeth.
Dragon's Teeth, I'm sure that one's going to bite me in the ass.
There are no puns on this podcast, Drew.
No puns?
Yeah, Rook, get out of here.
Oh my God.
It's so funny. So funny.
I said stop it, Andrew.
I have a question. Can we mute him for 5 minutes now? Is like a timeout?
I don't know if I can mute him individually.
Oh,
you know what? You know what? I'm just going to bow my head in shame and walk out of this podcast.
We'll just edit him out.
He hasn't been here the whole time.
Yeah. Drew, we still love you. Don't worry. Okay, so get back to point. Dragon's Teeth. This is going to be Battlefield 4's version of Urban Assault from Battlefield 3. It's going to be what DICE is calling it all-out urban warfare. So you like those tight conflicts. You like using the shotgun. You like using C4. And you're going to love Levolution. This is going to be the perfect DLC to, I think, really see Levolution shine. And hand-to-hand with the new counter-knifing system, and also with the whole system being able to go into a room and change the fight by knocking out the lights or shooting through the walls. So Dragon's Teeth is going to be their Urban Assault rendition, which normally when they do the Urban Assault or Dragon's Teeth, the urban conflict, that's more geared towards rush and squad deathmatch, their TDM modes, which really rely on kind of like a scattered spawning system, which makes, I think, their TDM a much more consistent play rather than Call of Duty's, which you have the set spawn so you can kind of get camped. But, hey, we'll see how it comes out. Maybe that can change, and we'll have to go on the forums and cause a nice revolt to get DICE to change it, but I don't see that happening. So, but then the last one, which nothing is out about, is Final Stand. They just said it's the conclusion. That's all it is. You try and find any information about it, you go on their website, access denied. That's all you're going to get. This is going to be, I think, one that all the other DLCs are coming out with 4 maps. I think you're going to see more than 4 maps come out. I think you're going to see a lot of DICE 3 technology that they kind of kept hidden away, that they're trying to make sure they master. You're going to see this Final Stand as the last hurrah of Battlefield 4, and I could probably see this coming out late 2014, nearly 2015, because this is going to be like their baby of Battlefield 4. This is everything Frostbite 3 can do, and that's kind of be like their last hurrah before the next year's blockbusters come out, which I'm not going to lie, with these systems, a year extra developing, I think you're going to, even though I'll love Battlefield 4, I think you give us a year in this industry with how quickly they're moving, with things like the Oculus Rift, you're going to have games better than Battlefield 4 within a year. And it's going to be crazy to think that right now we're in like the golden age of gaming, and I love it.
Wouldn't want to be born any other time. All right, guys, that about wraps us up for today. We've been talking about Battlefield 4, release date set for October 29th, 2013. I'm pumped for it. I know you guys are. With that, we're going to go and start closing out the show. All right, guys, we're going to close out the show now here. Remember, you can always find us at FutureGamingNetwork.com. Remember our podcast posts on FutureGamingNetwork.podomatic.com. You can follow us on Facebook.com/groups/Future Gaming Network. And now I'm going to turn it over to Zach with the Twitters.
All right, guys. Follow us on Twitter. We're at FGN Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at FGN SwishyPants. Follow Jess at Justin Miller. Austin's at Austin FGN. Josh is J Clement FGN. And our special guest Andrew is at Andrew Malott.
Look at you plugging yourself first for all the heyday.
You know what I love? There were no X's today. Oh my
you know what?
I know.
You guys can. This is 3 weeks in a row. I changed it, and you're still chewing me out for it.
Yes, because you're still like a Codboy fanboy with XX Swishy Packs. XX. My God. Sorry.
Say, hey Zach, why don't you tell him your gamer tag so we can, stalk you a little bit here.
I don't trust giving that information out over the internet.
Why? NSA already has it.
What, to the 10 people who listen to this podcast?
Oh.
Yeah, right? Way to kill it, Drew. Man, I almost had a boner.
It was like 18, okay?
Actually, guys, I hate to break it to you, we broke 100 subscribers today.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah, we did.
Hey,
I checked it today. We have 105.
hey, Austin.
Yeah. Well, to all 105 of you.
Did you by chance use the word potato in this podcast?
Yes, I did.
He did.
Really?
You gotta find it.
I didn't
Yes,
catch
I did.
it.
Don't you? Exactly.
Wait. What's this?
Wait.
All right,
Andrew, you're new. Let's explain it one more time so everybody knows what's going on. Every podcast, Austin says potato one time throughout the podcast. If you can find it and post it to the FGN podcast, we'll win you 100 Austin points. Those Austin points will then win you absolutely nothing.
So it's like the Drew
So
Carey show.
congratulations.
Don't you worry,
Redeemable
don't
only
you?
at Austin's house.
Yeah, I'm right.
And after you gotta find it and then find him because he is not always there. Because
I
he
got
has
a
a
better
life.
idea. I say if they find the potato, they gotta post him to the FGN podcast Twitter, and then we'll give them a shout out of whatever they want on the podcast.
I like it.
Oh, what is this?
Look, the Austin points are worth something.
What is this?
And we'll
I was
also
gonna-
give them 100 Austin points.
Oh, I was going to use it to try and get fangirls. Aw.
Austin. See, so then what you do is then once you introduce everyone, you talk what you talk about, and then before we start anything off, Austin, who found the potato?
Actually, yeah, I think, see, we keep adapting and growing on this show. See, we're smart.
Three
pretty
weeks
good
in,
at
we're already learning.
And we have 100 subscribers, guys. This is huge.
Hey, do you want to know something fun? I'm totally unsubscribed.
Aw.
I share every one of your links on Facebook, but I haven't
Andrew?
touched my other computer. I don't have iTunes on this computer. It's all on my
There's a lot of reason why we've wanted to shun you so far from this.
Today, I think.
Are you going to push it again for a third time?
Hey, you know what, dude? You gotta do what you gotta do, and I believe in you.
Love you, buddy. All right, Austin, why don't you let the people know about us on iTunes?
All right. Well, we are Future Gaming Podcast. Go right through the iTunes app. And one thing we want to do is give us a 5-star review, give you a shout out. Last week we had one from Mr. Tank, and this week we got 2 more 5-star written reviews from first one, number 4 by one of our listeners, Jonathan. He says, really enjoyed this one. Keep up the good work. Why, thank you, Jonathan. Hopefully you are one of the young ones who will stick with this young and flourishing podcast as we continue to grow. And then number 5, Freaking Awesome by IGN and Games. Hey, how about that Jessica chicked up? She seems pretty nifty.
I wonder who that could be.
Yeah.
That could
Sounds
be
like one of my
anybody.
fans. Sounds like one of my fans.
Oh. Hey, maybe
Yeah.
maybe we just found Jessica's first stalker.
Woo woo.
Or maybe we found Jessica stalking herself again.
Hey, th-
Jess, do we have to go to
I
therapy
don't
again?
need to
Because
that-
that was awkward last time.
I'm not that person anymore.
This is a safe place.
But guys, thank you still. Hopefully we can get a couple more reviews, get some more 5 stars. We have a total of 6, which sadly we only have 5 written reviews. I definitely would have loved to have heard from that one person who still gives 5-star review, just so we could give you a shout out. But hey, if you listen to the show, why don't you head over to iTunes, give us a like, download our shows, Noah, because we get to keep track of the downloads, and that's what we kind of want to do. We want to try and monitor to see how successful we really are doing. And also those 5-star reviews really help us, because if we could ever get to that up-and-coming page and get onto, like, a featured show, that's how we're really going to start pushing. And then, hey, I'm not going to lie, not a lot of people like it, but if we could get advertising, and then that only expands the audience we go to, and it will only improve the product that we bring you. So every little bit that you guys can help us, trust me, we're definitely going to try and give it back to you guys.
Also, we're going to be adding a donate button. We're going to whore ourselves.
Yeah.
Did you expect any less?
What a sloot.
Hey,
All right,
we
guys.
are a very pretty slore. We may pretty ourselves up, use a little bit of padding, but who doesn't?
Any donations over $20, you get a picture of me.
How about a
Without a shirt on.
guys? Just so you know,
$50 is without a shirt.
he has a
don't get
pleasure
excited.
trail. I'm telling
See, the
you.
difference is we whore ourselves, Andrew Horrors himself, literally. All right, guys, that about wraps us up for today. Remember to follow us on Twitter at FGN Podcast. I'm Josh Clement. This is my cast. Have a good night.
Goodbye.
Derp.
Peace out.
Hey, Needy.
Yeah.
Just so you know, as of today, Pokemon X and Y has sold over 4 million copies.
It's so good.
Hey,
I
guys.
know.
Hey, guys.
I'm honestly
Hey, guys.
on 70
Do you know the
hours.
best part about that being done is?
What? You
I
can
get to go to
sleep.
sleep and only wake up in like 6 hours.
Yay! Andrew, we love you. Everybody derp on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Derp.
Derp.